Now let's talk about some of the security methods available for IPv6. We have a lot of them. Now authentication and everything pretty much the same, and we'll talk about their configuration later down the road. But pretty much the same availability with EAP and all those options. But we have some other things available to us. First off, many of you might have been thinking about router advertisements. Goodness, if a router advertisement is generated and then everybody bases their address on that router advertisement, wouldn't that be an incredible attack vector, right? You could change the IPv6 addressing of an entire local area network just by generating a correct router advertisement, right? So router advertisement guard came out in 7.2 and later. Okay, 7.8 Air OS version 7.2 and later, we have router advertisement guard. This is enabled by default on the controller and access point. So this is enabled. And what this does is it drops router advertisements coming from wireless clients. So it takes half of the attack plane, our wireless attack plane, and it says, you know what, if anyone tries to send a router advertisement this way, go ahead and drop that. Take it and put it in the bit bucket. Because that's not the direction that this should be going. Just put it in the bit bucket because it doesn't belong. And that's great because we don't want clients generating a router advertisement. The traffic should never flow this way. Now we can disable this on an AP. So let me draw a little AP here and an AP here. We can actually disable this on an AP. You cannot disable this on a wireless LAN controller, but you can disable this on an AP. It is preferred that you disable this on an AP, but really, it doesn't matter because it's also enabled on the wireless LAN controller, and the wireless LAN controller will stop it when it comes up. But we like to drop this early so it's not generating traffic to the rest of our environment. So leave this on the AP. If you do want to disable this, you're going to have to go to the CLI of the AP. So what other security features do we have available? We also have DHCPv6 server guard. And what this does is it prevents an IPv6 client from acting like a DHCP server. So again, we're going to put up kind of a wall here. And if we see any DHCP traffic coming up from a wireless client, that is going to be dropped immediately. Any DHCPv6 advertisement packets are going to be dropped from clients. So again, one of those features, protecting our addressing, protecting other information. This comes up, this is sent to the CAPAP tunnel and dropped directly into the big bucket. This is enabled by default. You can disable this in the CLI if you absolutely need to. I'm not sure why you would though. This is a very big protection that I like to put in place because I don't see myself generating any DHCP traffic coming up the wireless environment.